Hey guys, welcome to Barre with me, Ruth. I'm going to take you through a 15-minute core class today, so you just need yourself and a mat. So to get started, sitting in your most comfortable position on the mat with your feet crossed or sitting with your knees bent like me, we're just going to close down the eyes and start with a few breaths. So closing down the eyes, taking an inhale in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. Let's take one more. This time as we inhale in, lifting the shoulders up to the ears. And as we exhale, circling them back, dropping them down. Take another inhale in, really filling up the lungs. And exhaling, letting go, dropping the shoulders. Let's take one more. Big inhale in, lifting the shoulders as high as you can to the earlobes. Circling them back, exhaling, letting them go. So we're going to get started in your 4-point kneel. So coming onto your hands and knees, fingers spread wide and your wrists directly under your shoulders, knees hip distance apart and your feet in parallel. So we're going to start with an inhale in, and as we inhale in, we're going to push the body away from the mat, arching the spine to the sky, dropping your head. And we're going to reverse it, letting the belly come to the mat, chest forward, head and sit bones up. So these are your cactus. We'll take a few more of these. Really stretching up through the spine and reversing it, dropping the belly, head up. Take one more. Inhaling to arch the spine and exhaling to reverse it out. So coming back to neutral, give your body a wiggle. When you find your neutral position, make sure the core is engaged. And when you're ready, send your right leg long behind you, toe pointed, squeezing the glute. We're going to lift it to hip height and tap it back to the floor. So squeezing to lift and tap back. Now we're going to add in the opposite hand, so the left hand, thumb to sky, and we're just going to lift with the leg and lower. So squeezing the glute to lift and pushing the shoulder back your back to lift the arm. Being mindful to try and keep your hips as even as possible. Your right hip will be inclined to drop down a little, so just be careful that it's still in line. Keeping the body as stable as possible and your eye line at the top of the mat. Trying to lengthen through the arm and the leg as you lift, as if I'm pulling you in opposite directions. Stay for 4, 3, last 2, and last 1. When your hands come back up like mine, I want you to draw the elbow and knee into meet under your belly button into a crunch and lengthen out. So we're drawing the knee and belly into crunch, arching the belly away from your hands and knee and lengthening. So don't be afraid to curl through the spine as you crunch and really lengthen away as you extend. We'll do another 3, 2, and the last one. When you hold your hand and leg out, let's do pulses up to the sky. So keeping everything as stable as possible through the body, lengthening through the neck and back, and just pulse for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring that hand and knee back to the mat. We're going to go straight into the other side. So this time left foot extends long, toe pointed, squeeze the glute, lift to hip height and tap to the floor. So squeezing to lift and tap. We'll add in the opposite hand, so right hand comes out, thumb to the sky, lifting and lowering together. So really trying to lengthen through the body, keeping that ponytail to the sky, not dropping your head down, and being mindful of those hips again to make sure you're not falling to one side. If your left hand is getting a bit tired, feel free to unlock the elbow just a little bit. We'll stay for 4, for 3, last 2, and last 1. Again, draw that knee and elbow into meet and we go into our crunches. So crunching in, arching to the spine and extending out. keep using your breath. Inhaling to crunch, exhale to extend. We'll stay for 4. Last 3. Last 2. And the last one. Hold it out and pulse it up. So really squeezing that glute and shoulder. For 6, for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring those hands and knees back to the mat. Bring your knees to the outside edges of your mat. Bring your toes together. Sink your hips back and walk your hands forward into your child's pose. So take a breath here as you inhale in, and when you release the breath, try and push those hips further back. Get into a deeper stretch. Take one more breath here. Coming back to all 4, we're going to go into our first of many planks. You'll be happy to know. So again, fingers spread wide, wrist under your shoulders. Step your right foot back, followed by your left foot. So we're in a high plank and your feet are about hip distance apart away. And you want to have a straight line from the crown of the head back into the heels and pressing into your heels. So again, eye line at the front of the mat. Core is squeezing in, trying to kiss the back of your spine, and your glutes, bum cheeks squeeze together. We'll hold for 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, and for 1. When you're ready, lift the right foot into chest and replace it back down, followed by the left foot. So these are your mountain climbers. Feel free to pick up the pace here and you can run them out. And we'll go for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to your high plank. This time send that bum back, bending to the knees into your downward facing dog. You can walk your hands back a little bit if you need to. Keeping the bend through your knees. Taking an inhale in, I want you to draw that belly really close to your thighs and try and stretch out through the upper shoulders and release it. And now we'll go for a pedal out through the feet to try and stretch out through the back of the hamstrings. Feel free to drop your hips from side to side if it feels good for you. And really putting pressure into those heels to stretch out the back of the leg. When you're ready, bring both heels back to the mat and slowly start to walk your feet into your hands. When your feet arrive at your hands, let your hands hang and let go of any tension and just let go of your head and slowly sway from side to side. This is your ragdoll pose. So keeping a little bend through the knees, feet in hip distance apart and parallel. And just let go and rock for a second. Coming back to center, slowly keeping an arch through the spine, roll your body up to standing. When you're ready, step your foot out into your wide second position plie. So you want your feet tracking both corners of the mat, bending through the knees and wrapping those thighs back. So from a side angle, you're bending into the plie. If there's an arch in your back, make sure that the tailbone is tucking under. So you want to be straight through the spine and tailbone is pointing to the ground and you're keeping your chest up and elegant. So when you're ready, we'll bring the left hand to the hip and let it rest there. Right palm facing the sky, taking an inhale in. When you come up to the top, let's bend over to the side as you exhale. Coming through center, let's swap hands. Inhaling in, lift the palm to the sky and exhale to stretch. You can stay with these. Coming through center, feel free to straighten your legs and then bend them back into the plie as you side stretch. Making sure when you're going into that side stretch that you're keeping your body nice and upright and not falling forward, keeping it really tall and elegant. Again, through center, inhale and exhale to bend. These are really good for warming up the side obliques that we're going to do a lot of work in a minute. We'll do one more each side here. Inhaling through center, palm to sky. Exhale to stretch. And last side. So coming back, standing up, we're going to turn to the right side of your mat, bringing both hands down, frame your feet and step back to your high plank. You can drop your knees here, keeping your elbows by your side. We're going to slowly lower to the floor as one unit. When you get to the mat, lying prone, bring both your palms on top of each other and place them under your forehead. So we're going to take an inhale in, and to lift, we just lift the chest off the floor and back down. When we're doing these, it's not a big bend of the neck. We're lifting as one unit. We're keeping the eyeline on the floor, ponytail to the sky. These are called your prone. They're really good for working through the back muscles. So inhale to lift and exhale to lower. Take one more in this way. Now bring your hands out to the side of your mat like a cactus shape. So your hands are in a 90-degree angle. And rest your head on the mat. So we're going to inhale to lift and hold for 3. So inhale up. 1, 2, 3. And lower back down. Let's take one more. This time we'll hold for 4. Inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. And let's place the mat. Last one, this time we'll hold for 5. For anyone who's feeling it, feel free to add in the legs. So inhale to lift, and lifting the legs, glutes are engaged for 3, for 2, for 1. And then back to the mat. Coming up onto your forearm, so bringing your elbows just under your shoulders. I forgot the name of them. And tuck your toes and lift into your forearm plank. So again, making sure the pressure is in the back of your heels and a straight line through your body. If you're feeling this in your lower back, try and lift your hips up a little bit. But again, make sure everything is engaged. And when you're ready, lift your left hand up, rotate your feet so you're in a side plank. Feel free to drop the knee if this is a bit heavy on your stomach for you, or your balance is bad like mine today. And we're just going to start with little curls. So you're taking that left hand, you're rolling it forward, following the left shoulder, and you're curling it under and back around. So stay with these and really try and curl around so you can feel the twist through the core. You won't stay here for long. Stay for 3, for 2, and last one. Coming back to your forearm plank. This is your last plank, you'll be happy to know. So we're just going to go into a little twist from side to side. So making sure your feet are about hip distance apart, bum cheeks squeezed together. Just tilt your hips to the left side, not down to as far as the mat, just a little bit to the left, and rock to the right. So we're just twisting from side to side, trying to keep from our shoulders to our rib cage stable, and just letting the lower half of the body rock. We'll go for 5, for 4, for 3, last 2, and last one. Coming back to center, this time we'll open the right hand up and come into our side plank. Again, feel free to drop the knee if you need to, and we'll start to tuck it under. So we're just really trying to curl around, making that top shoulder follow through and twist through the floor. Stay for 3, for 2, and last one. Lowering your hips to the mat. You can roll over and come onto your back. So lying down with your feet bent, knees bent, feet on the floor. You can interlace your fingers and bring them behind the back of your head as a support. So we're just going to start with a quick hip rock. So taking inhale in, arching through the spine, and as you exhale, pushing the lower back into the mat. So this is just with the hips, tilting them back and forth. Inhale to arch and lift. Exhale to push it in. So when we're doing our core exercises, it's very important that the lower back stays cemented onto the mat. And at any point, if you feel pain, don't bring your feet the whole way down. I'll talk you through it as we go. So pressing the lower back into the mat, I want you to slowly curl your shoulders up into a supine curl and return to the mat. So it's just a very controlled movement. Your eye line is staying up to the sky, so your head isn't lifting and curling your head up. You're just lifting as one unit from the shoulders. You're trying to push the rib cage down towards the hips. So we're just warming up to the upper abdominals. We'll go for 4. We're starting off nice and easy and building up. And last one. Coming back to the mat. This time I want you to bring both feet to tabletop position. So you want your knees directly over your hips. And we're just going to tap the right foot to the floor and the left foot. So keep going, alternating legs. If at any point you feel this in your lower back, or your back is beginning to arch away from the mat, just come halfway down. You don't need to go the full way down. So always be mindful of the back. If you feel for it, go into double leg taps. If you're happy with the alternating legs, stay with those. Keeping it slow and controlled. The shape of your legs shouldn't be moving. It's the lower core that you can feel working through this. Last 3, last 2, and last 1. Keeping your feet at tabletop, we're going to go back into our supine curls. So start to curl through the shoulder and lower down. Curling and lowering. Feel free to bring your feet back to the mat if you feel better for you. If not, stay with these. You should be able to feel your core working now. Get that bar burn. Stay for 4. For 3. Last 2. And last one. This time we're going to hold it up and start with the leg taps. You can always bring your head back to the mat if you want. If not, keep going. Oh, my core is burning. We're nearly finished. Stay with it for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Now we're going to do it all together. So we're going to curl up, legs to tabletop. Head comes down, toes to mat. So we're just crunching in. Oh, my core is burning. Keep using your breath. Inhale to lower. Exhale to crunch. For 4. For 3. Last 2. Last 1. Hold it there. Extend the hands long by your hips. Start to pulse them as you lift your legs straight. Come into your Pilates hundreds. And let's pulse it for 8, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Grab those knees, hug them into chest, and rock from side to side. You are finished your core sequence. So bringing your feet back to the mat, crossing your hands to your belly if you like. We're just going to let both knees fall to the left hand side and turn our head to the right. Take a breath here. Coming back through center. Drop the knees to the other side. Let your head fall to the opposite direction. Again, take a breath here. Trying to slow the breathing down. Take one more each side. And back through center. Last side. Extending those feet long, taking a final breath in through your nose And exhale to the mouth. Feel free to stay lying for a few seconds to let your body cool down. Stop sweating like me. But I hope you enjoyed your class. Thanks very much for joining.